So this is a question I've got then, and I wasn't going to go here, but it sort of all ties together. I've been in the fitness industry. I've interviewed hundreds of people, so I'm probably in a slightly different position than the average man or woman on the street in terms of what I get to pass around me. But when it comes to nutrition, and I learned a lot just by researching this interview, I kind of know where to start a little bit, but I also feel it's like, well, who would I go to? Who would I speak to outside of just reading stuff online and trying to figure out myself? If if you're sick and you need medicine, you go to a doctor. That's pretty straightforward.
Correct.
But if you want to kind of figure out what sort of nutrition, what my gaps are, right. Most people don't even know they've got gaps for a start. I didn't kind of realize I've actually got gaps.
Right.
Like, where do you think people automatically go? And then sort of a follow on from that, probably where should they be going if they really want to kind of figure out what their gaps are and get some information? I know you've spent about $10 million in a certification course to teach people, but just for people who don't know about that,
right. That's real simple, though, at the end of the day. I mean, there's not a single person on this planet, there's no exception to that rule, unless there's some really strange medical condition that, which is unheard of, that should not be taking a complete multivitamin mineral. We know there are 20 known underconsumed nutrients. 6 of them are really serious by human. We have 50 studies that no person has ever, and these are hundreds of thousands of people that we have studied from one decade to the next, has ever gotten the RDA, recommended dietary allowances, is what you're supposed to be getting on vitamins and minerals and protein and so forth. Protein's easy, but vitamins and minerals, no one has ever done it from food alone. Certainly not within a certain amount of calories, right, that would keep you lean. And then if you ate 8,000 calories, you might be able to do it. But what if you bought an orange in Florida versus an orange in California? You think you're getting the same vitamins and minerals in that orange? Not even close. Because soil in Florida is completely different in California. So no matter what, you always have these unknown nutrient gaps. There's no way of measuring those things unless we did tissue samples of all your blood. No one's going to do that. You don't need to do that. Spend 30 cents a day on a complete multivitamin mineral, and just the shocker is, as long as it's complete. A lot of the mass market ones are junk, unfortunately. They don't third-party test them. They don't do any of those. We make ours really super complete because, again, we make them for athletes and exercisers. Third-party test them, and we add as much as we can in there so they don't have to take 2 or 3 different pills. We have tons of vitamin D, tons of vitamin C, so I'm take separate ones, those kind of things. But otherwise, you have to buy it separately. But that's where you start, right there. Get a gram per pound of lean body mass of protein a day, divided it evenly between your meals. If you work out, take a shot before you work out and a shot after, like in a protein powder, so it gets in your muscles fast, right, and you recover better. That's it. And make sure you're getting enough omega-3s. The vitamins and minerals, that's never negotiable in our world. You have to get one. You sit across from me, I won't even touch you. I'm going to let you work out until I know you're taking a complete multivitamin mineral. Why would I shortchange you? Because your vitamins and minerals control every part of your body. And you're now, from food, you're only getting 60 to 85% worth. I got to get that to 100, and now everything happens faster. You lose fat faster, your appetite's better, stress is less. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes weeks and weeks for your enzymes to come back to use them. And then after that, you're now moving in a much better battle, sleeping better, all that. So that's just the baseline. And then the 1 gram per pound of protein, that's between your food and a shake. And a shake saves you money on groceries. That's what I always tell people. So don't worry about that. That'll make you'll save money. You need the gram per pound no matter what if you want to stay active. So by doing that, and that's all you need. The omega-3s are important. As you know, that's like one of the number 1 selling supplements in the world, along with probiotics. But that's because all brain development, by the way, a prenatal now, almost every doc, OBGYNs and pediatricians, they're giving, as a prenatal, the complete multivitamin and an omega-3 supplement. That 3rd trimester in the womb, brain development is so important, and almost the DHA is so responsible for that. And that continues throughout life. We know that people that get the right amount of omega-3s when they're in the womb, they have a higher potential for intellectual capacity later on in life. We have all the tests that show that. But you can get that from your fish. And you can see the fish on your plate, so that's negotiable. If you're getting 4 times a week, you're getting a serving of fish, that would be the minimum. Then you're getting enough, you don't need a supplement. But the complete multivitamin mineral and your protein is going to be automatic, no matter what. And then that's all you need to get started.
But where do people get, like you've explained it, and again, it's pretty straightforward, but where Where would people go? Is it because I know in one of your presentations you talk about the sort of failure of the fitness industry and how we don't actually do a very good job at providing this information. But should it be something that the doctors kind of make a little bit more of and they promote it, or maybe isn't their job? And if so, is it the job of, like, the fitness and wellness industry to be kind of making these recommendations about that, so that the average person kind of at least is a little bit educated in and can cut through a lot of the marketing messages that they get from the supermarkets or wherever else they go for the health stores?
That is where it should come from, and I've been fighting for that for 40 years. I introduced nutrition to the gym for the first time in history, and to your point, I spent $10 million in 10 years to get it certified so it'd be in the scope of practice of trainers. So when you came into a gym, I wasn't just showing you how to exercise. You're just an exercise instructor. I'm showing you how to have a holistic solution so you have the prevention before cure approach for the rest of your life. So you have everything. What you do when you leave the gym. So your results come quicker. So the 1 hour in the gym is one thing, the 23 hours when you leave, you had a roadmap. And that's the person that should be the one that gives them the guidelines, not clinical nutrition, guidelines for their goal, the right calories, here's a basic idea of what you should be eating, and then here's what you need to fill your gaps. That is the person that should be, because that's the one that is on the ground level while you have your health that can give you that stuff to prevent the problem. So why you call it the prevention before cure. So your medicine cabinet should only have vitamins and minerals, maybe an omega-3 and a protein powder in there, along with your foods, your essential foods. Your medicine cabinet, normally, if you've seen one, people got all these prescription drugs, they got all of this stuff in here. So you can pay just a little bit right now or a whole lot later, depending on how you want to look at the whole thing. And that's what we're trying to do. Keep people from having to go to the doctor for all the things they don't need to go to a doctor for. They could have prevented for no cost at all on one side. And it's so easy. I don't know what people just think they got to do. I got to work out 5 days a week. I got to do that. You don't have to do any of that stuff. It's just an easy, inexpensive way to be able to self-health care. And that's one of the things we can end on, because I predicted that, 15 years ago, I say the world is moving towards self-health care. People want to take care of themselves and their own family. And now what's fast forwarding that was COVID, because there's a distrust in Big Pharma now. There's a distrust in the CDC. We already know that. So what that did is people, I want to be able to take care of myself. So our business has tripled since the nutrition. And I get my I told you so moment. Now people are listening. They're paying attention. The supplement industry is growing faster than any mature industry in the world right now, globally, at a crazy rate, but not for the right reasons. That's what bothers me. It's not for the right reasons. It should have been this way in the first place. That should be a higher dollar industry than the medical and than the drug industry. That would be a perfect world, wouldn't it? Now we've got health care versus disease care. But that's the world we're in, and that's capitalism, and we're kind of stuck in that little thing. But we're fighting for it. And this thing with COVID is really made that sort of paradigm shift in people's mindset. But you need that person, and that's what, like our fitness professionals, we need that person to give us that little simple outline. And then hold us accountable, because you're not going to be accountable without somebody working to do that.